right, Shalom. Uh, First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honors to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This is Priest Zah One back with another lesson dealing with the mark of the beast. And I have this article here from hackaday.com. All right. And the headline is RFID payment ring made from dissolved credit card. Okay, this is dated April 25th, 2019, the year of Charagma, which Charagma is the Greek word for mark. When you go into the Bible, in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse, when you look up the word mark in the Greek, in the Strong's Concordance, all right, it's the word charagma, and that's the spiritual name for 2019, because we believe here at Great Millstone that the microchip implant is going to be pushed more and more on a mainstream scale this year. Okay, and Lord willing, it eventually becomes mandatory. We're still in April. We're not even 6 months into 2019, so some major things could happen later this spring or over the summer, or even this fall into the winter. So all through the will of the Lord, of course. So I'm gonna go into it, okay? Because we've been, telling, the world out there, okay, the masses of the people and the different Israelite groups, all right, and you Israelites out there as a whole, that eventually, according to prophecy, the world is going to be microchipped mandatorily by the government and the different governments around the world of Esau and these different nations. Okay, and they're more and more finding out different ways to utilize this technology. All right, this RFID and NFC technology. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me start off with the scripture. Okay. And this, this is a scripture we all know, but one thing that a prophet's supposed to do is speak on the prophecies, and these other groups don't do it. So you can never really bring this out enough. So this is Revelation 13 and 16. It says, and he called it all. That he is talking about Esau, the so-called white man, all right, the Edomites, because they're the ruling power. They have the influence and the power to cause people to do, whatever they want, all right. They're in their rulership, all right. So it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So this is talking about people, all right, not nations or not an embargo or religion. Okay. It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Like I said, when you look up that word mark, it's the Greek word charagma. Okay, which goes into something you cut into your skin. All right, and that's what you see with these different microchip implants. Okay, it says, in that no man might buy or sell, and this is the key point. Okay, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him have understanding, count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which that's where you get your 666, and that's the barcode system that's going to be assigned to each mark or microchip. Okay, and going back to the article, okay, because these people out here have already developed smartphones and watches and things like that to utilize RFID microchips in different devices, and they have it in these different payment rings, like a ring to where you can pay pay, by just scanning a ring that's on your head. Well, that's one step closer to actually putting the microchip in your hand. All right, and that's the mark of the beast there. So it says RFID payment ring made from dissolved credit card. Okay, so it says RFID payment systems are one of those things that the community seems to be divided on. Some only see the technology as a potential security liability and will go as far as to disable the RFID chip in their card so that it can't be read by a would-be attacker. Others think the ease and convenience of paying for goods by tapping their card or smartphone on the register more than makes up for the relatively remote risk of RFID sniffers. All right, so as you can see, they're already, equating paying for goods and buying and selling with the different technology. Okay, and that's what the prophecy said, and that's why I read that first, so you know what this is going into, because prophecy is being fulfilled day by day, man. All right, and when we see these different reports and these articles, we filter them through the scriptures and speak it to the people out there. It says, given the time and effort David Sykes put into creating this contactless payment ring, we think it's pretty clear which camp he's in. And he's for using these biotechnology devices and using them for payments, and these different wearable technologies. So it says, all right, so the whole ring making part sounds easy enough, but how does one get an RFID chip that's linked to their account? Easy. Just call the bank and ask them for one. Of course, they won't just send you out a little RFID chip and antenna to mount in your hacked up project, if only things were so simple, but they will send you a new card if you tell them your old one is getting worn out and needs a replacement. Right, because these different credit and debit cards now, and even these prepaid cards, they have chips in them, and pretty much all over the world now, especially here in America, you can go to pretty much any register, and if you have a debit or a credit card, they'll say do what? Insert your chip. You have the chip, insert your chip, and this is just a desensitizing of what eventually the elites and the rulers of this society is going to do. Okay? All right? They're going to eventually put this RFID chip in your hand. But there's a progress called gradualism, which is what they've been doing over the years. So it won't seem out of the norm for them to say, well, now for this particular reason, you need to get this microchip implant. Okay. I'm gonna keep going in the article. It says, but they will send you a new card if you tell them your old one is getting worn out and needs a replacement. All you have to do when it gets there is liberate the electronics without damaging them. David found that an hour or so in an acetone bath was enough to dissolve the plastic and expose the epoxy encased RFID chip. So this guy, basically what he did was he took his debit card, basically removed the microchip from it. Okay, so it says, assuming you scrape the outer layers of the card first, he notes that you can speed this the process up considerably if you know the exact placement and size of the RFID chip. That way you can cut out just the area you're interested in rather than having to liquefy the whole card. Once you have your chip, you just need to mount it into a ring. And that's what this guy did. So now he has a RFID chip in this ring that he puts on his hand. And that's in the image I have there on the video. Okay. Okay, let me it says if a ring it's not personal enough for you, then the next step, okay, the next step is getting the RFID chip implanted directly into your hand. Okay? There are even folks at hacker cons or hacker conventions who will do that sort of thing for you if you're squeamish. So you can get the RFID chip in your hand, but this guy, he took it from his debit card and put it in a ring. And this is the next thing that happened, with these different digital payments, man. Okay? So this is, what it is, man. So now I'm gonna read some of these comments. It says, this is a guy named Jesper. This is dated April 25th, 2019. It says, we got the same in Denmark. Okay, so in Denmark, they're using the chip. It says like 1 of 10 transactions has to be with the chip. Also, transactions above about $50 has to be with chip and pin. Okay, so they're using it in Denmark. All right, I believe they're using it on smartphones and these different cards as well. Okay, let's see if there's anything else with these comments. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't think anyone's speaking. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much the point. All right, yeah. So, this is, the next wave is using digital payments, more and more heavily, man. Okay, I'll I spoke with this guy from India yesterday. He was he was studying computer engineering down here in Atlanta at Georgia Tech, and he was on his way back to India. Now, if you know anything about India, they use the biometric system and contactless payment system. And I asked him about it, and he confirmed it. He was like, "Yeah, you know, they have a system set up to where they can use their smartphone for transactions, and that he said they do still use cash, but only for small transactions. Okay." But all the other major transactions they use using digital payments. Okay. So this mark of the beast, which is without a shadow of a doubt, the microchip implant is going to be rolled out worldwide, and it's soon going to be mandatory, man. And that's the new trend. But like I said, this is pretty much it. Give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh Bashmi Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Hope this was edifying. And Don't take the microchip, or the Lord is going to destroy you. Shalom.